I have seen over 1,000 movies, hundreds of them classic black and white films. I have seen Fritz Lang's masterful Metropolis. I have seen Billy Wilder's flawless Double Indemnity. And I've seen Pixar's Coco, which I know is renowned for its use of color, but I saw it before my cataract surgery, so I'm gonna count it. But no, I haven't seen Casablanca, and I'm tired of people telling me to play it, Sam. It's not even my name. Where to start with a movie this legendary? It's always brought up as one of the best films of all time. It's jam-packed with renowned actors, referenced in nearly every cartoon I had growing up, and has quotes that everyone knows, like, "You're gonna need a bigger boat. I'll have what she's having. I am your father." We all know them. The movie opens with a middle schooler's diorama and the dangerous streets of Casablanca. A man is shot down while fleeing some bad guys. How do I know they're bad? I mean, come on. Look at those hats. Those are not good guy hats. Speaking of bad guys and bad hats, Nazis. That sentence was a malfunctioning two-wheel vehicle, because my segues are out of control. The Nazis are introduced to... I'm not sure, actually. The sound mixing is so cluttered here, it sounds like someone is struggling to open a bag of chips the entire scene.
And Captain Renault, Police Protector Casablanca. Major Stasser.
Next scene, we go to our main location, Rick's Bar. This popular club is filled with struggling people, all discussing secret and possibly illegal activities. It's a great juxtaposition that through the jovial music is this sense of unease. It's like pooping in a public bathroom. You know it's normal, but feels like something can go wrong at any second. Finally, we meet the titular owner of Rick's Bar. Hold on. I mean Rick. I love this introduction because we learn a lot about his character in just a few seconds. He controls who is allowed in without giving any real reasons. He's playing chess by himself, which shows that he's a loner, and the fact that we see him playing the second position, which implies he prefers to counter what he sees as opposed to making the first move. The only person we see Rick be even slightly friendly to is the piano player Sam, who the director didn't think to remotely hide the fact that he isn't actually playing the piano.
Well, now, don't you...
We get reintroduced to Monsieur French and Chips, who turns out to be a pretty openly corrupt cop, whose real name is Captain Renault. But he and Rick have a fantastic character dynamic, as they both straddle the thin line of neutrality. Where Rick is true neutral, Renault does his job well enough to not ruffle the feathers of the Nazis, while still being loyal to his people. He demonstrates this by having his men arrest someone the Nazis want arrested. Oh, quick side note. One reason I love 40s movies is because every actor's voice is so distinctive. That arrested man is Peter Lorre. Every voice actor has an impression of him.
Rick, hide me. Do something. You must help me, Rick.
You might recognize that voice from old Looney Tunes episodes, or more likely, the monster under your bed.
Are you asleep yet?
No.
That's okay. I'll wait.
We find out that Renault is looking for Victor Laszlo, a man who keeps eluding the Germans, even escaping a concentration camp. He's hiding somewhere in Casablanca, but nobody knows his whereabouts, and oh wait, there he is, walking into an incredibly adored and public establishment. Look, I'm just saying, if you're being chased by an entire country, maybe don't go where people are. That's like if we found Saddam Hussein hiding in a Dave & Buster's. I guess in his defense, it's because he believes that since the area is neutral, then he is safe from the Axis. And if the Germans are known for anything, it's following rules. These next few scenes are some of the most magical of the movie. We meet Ilsa, Victor Laszlo's wife, and the key to Rick's mysterious past. She has Sam play a song from the old days, and as Roger Ebert put it, nobody looks down better than Ingrid Bergman. Which sounds like one of those compliments you come up with when you don't have anything real to say. It's like when you do your one-man show and your friends come by and say things like, wow, you were really doing it up there, or, those 2 hours flew by, stuff like that. But he's right. Her reflecting, lost look is captivating here. only to be matched by Bogart's shattered look upon seeing her. Up to this point, Rick is calm, cool, and guarded, and after one short run-in with Ilsa, it turns him into a sad drunkard as we flash back to Paris where it's revealed they were lovers. Where we get one of many,
Is looking at you, kid.
arguably the most known line in movie history, and it's not even in the script. That's just a thing that Bogart would say all the time. It was pretty much his catchphrase. That wouldn't really happen now. Like, the number 7 best quote of all time wouldn't be, "Wow," by Owen Wilson. The Germans are getting ready to occupy France. Ilsa is terrified, and Rick is oddly calm about losing his home to fascism. God, what is he? America in the 2020s? She leaves Rick a goodbye note, saying she can't leave with him. Because as it turns out, she was married to Laszlo the entire time she was with Rick. But in her defense, she thought her husband was dead when, really...
When I was in a concentration camp, were you lonely in Paris?
Yeah, she technically cheated on him while he was in a concentration camp. Again, she did think that he was dead, but hey, congrats, Ilsa. You just got yourself the worst secret of all time. Ilsa tries to get the transit letters from Rick. Basically, these letters will grant her and Laszlo's freedom. She points a gun at him, but they end up kissing instead. Back in the 40s, pointing a gun at your lover was considered foreplay. Rick comes up with a plan to get Ilsa and Laszlo out of Casablanca. This involves tricking Renault, leading to the scene everybody knows. Rick tells Ilsa that she is getting on that plane and leaving, and that...
We'll always have Paris.
But first tells Laszlo that Ilsa and them are over, which I know is meant to be romantic in a letting her go kind of way, but he also says this.
She did her best to convince me that she was still in love with me. For your sake, she pretended it wasn't, and I let her pretend.
Which sounds like he's just bragging.
I understand.
We played tonsil hockey.
I understand.
Did the Devil's Charleston.
I understand.
I was like, now here's looking at you, kid.
I understand.
And they fly off. Rick kills a Nazi and Renault ends up defending him, ending with yet another iconic line.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Casablanca is loved because it's a drama. It's a romance. It's a film noir. It's a comedy even. It masterfully blends all these genres together. On the surface, Casablanca is a romance film, but digging deeper are these incredibly complex but not aggressively serious people. They have their moments of charm and wit as well as the melodramatic. It also hit me that this movie came out in 1942 and it is very clearly anti-Nazi, but it's kind of surprising because historically speaking, America didn't want anything to do with the war. I mean, we were barely in the war when this movie came out. Rick himself is a representation of America at the time, being someone who doesn't want to make a choice, staying out of it until realizing when the stakes get too high, neutrality is not the best decision. I think that's why my favorite scene is when the Germans take over the bar to sing their anthems and the French fight back with their own songs. It genuinely gives me chills seeing that. After long thought, I give Casablanca a 10 out of 10. There is a reason this movie has echoed throughout the years. And yes, I've seen the arguments that it's a slow burn and that there's a bunch of questions that aren't really answered, like, why is Rick even in Casablanca? But the movie isn't about that. I don't need to know what the characters had for breakfast to be invested. The actors are legends, the writing is sharp, and the cinematography and lighting brilliantly complement each other. Like when your friends see your other one-man show and they try to be extra flattering because they weren't as nice the first time around, Daryl! Hello. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review of Casablanca. As always, let me know what you thought of the movie, or let me know what I should review next. Have a good one.